Happy Friday. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. I don't know how, but it is November 1st. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I know we did at our house. Got some similar headlines that we've been talking, right? Flash sales. We continue to see some good flash sales. We'll continue to take them, right? We'll see them all day. A little bit negative headline on terms of job growth, right? Maybe there's more to that story, but definitely not what the trade was thinking. And last but not least, guess what? Crop insurance price, that fall price is set. Let's talk about that. But also, it's Friday. Let's talk about whatever you want to, right? Post a question, drop us a comment, and we can talk about anything you want to. With that, Joe, let's go ahead and quote it up. We got some good quotes on the screen looking at commodities. D's corn up 4 at 415, still hanging out at the highs. November soybeans up 13. They're off the board. We got to look at Jan soybeans are up 12 as well. Chicago wheat up 2. Flipping it over to spring wheat. Hard reds up a couple cents. Spring or KC wheat up 2 cents as well. Looking at lean hogs are up. Cattle, live cattle down slightly. Feeders down as well. We'll keep looking. Let's kick it over to Wall Street and we'll look at some of these energy markets. We've got nat gas down slightly. Crude oil up a little bit. Keep going over Dow, S&P 500, all up pretty good on the day. Taking the news of the jobs report well with that. Gold's a little bit higher as well. And I think that's all we got. Good to see on the grains, right? We'll take it. Good to see at the highs. We'll see where it is at the end of the show. So good to see. First headline we have more flash sales and some good ones, right? Kick it off. The first one 132,000 metric tons of soybeans for delivery to China. We will take it. Put the big one up, Joe. I like this one a lot. 781,000 metric tons of corn for delivery to Mexico. That's a big one. Way to kick off a good week of flash sales, of good exports. We saw the export numbers out yesterday, right? The week before was much bigger, but a good week. And I think we're going to continue that trend, right? We'll see where it goes. And then, we got more 198,000 metric tons of soybeans for delivery to unknown destinations, right? When we start talking about grain exports, remember to think China, Mexico, and that big country of unknown destinations. And then last but not least, 30,000 metric tons of soybean oil for delivery to India. Good to see a little bit different country when we're talking about India. I've talked about it a little bit on maybe they become an importer of corn in the coming future, right? As they try and get biodiesel, ethanol off the ground. So anytime we see India in exports and flash sales, we're going to take it. So a good way to finish the week. Now, as Rick continues to remind us, 4 days to the election. And so we're going to see, are these flash sales going to continue, right? We talked about that yesterday, where are we seeing front loading from Mexico? I think the answer, are we front loading soybeans? Is China front loading soybeans from the U.S.? I think the answer is definitively no, right? We've got a lot of air and potential for them to buy a whole lot more soybeans. The question is, are they going to be able to wait it out and buy them from Brazil versus having to buy them from the United States? But time will tell, right? Election next week's going to be a busy one. We've got election Tuesday. We've got a USDA report out Friday, and then correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but then also we have a Fed meeting. Is that the day after the election? Yeah, they're nodding their head. Yeah, so it's going to be a busy week, and we're going to see really where the market's moving. So it's good to see grains up, still hanging in near the highs. And so with that, it's November 1st. Crop insurance price is set. We have our fall crop insurance price, $416 for corn, $10.03 for soybeans. So, if you're looking at getting an indemnity payment, maybe you're in that area. I go to like southern Minnesota where maybe they had some issues, right? If you took the 85% coverage, are you looking at a payment, right? For most of us, I think we probably out yielded it. And then coming in that October average, I don't know how big of payments we're going to be looking at, but here's the key is now going forward into November, where the new crop becomes old crop. Now the safety nets are gone. So now if this price, it can do crazy things, right? If we see a big drop, crop insurance doesn't have that floor for us anymore, right? The US government says you're on your own post October 31st. So to reiterate that point, right, when we look at the 23 crop, the fall average for 23, 486 and 1284, right? From there, we did nothing but go lower from there. But so keep that in mind, right? That safety net's gone, right? I think a lot of us, if we could go back, we would take that fall average and wish we could average for that. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about looking at no futures are officially off the board. And I just want to look at a quick chart. And so when we look at that, right? So long, no 24 futures. I remember when we were in this Jan Feb timeframe, the story was we almost never put the highs in January 1st, right? We're gonna see that seasonality. It didn't happen on Nov 24 futures, right? For the year of 2024, that high came in the first day of the year, January 1st. We made a good run of it. We tried in May, and then we saw that big sell off going forward. So uh, keep in mind, I want to say it was a good run, Nov 24 futures, but I don't think we'll miss them too much given that price action. But hopefully, right, we could still see Jan and March make up for it. So let's keep going through these headlines, Joe. We'll bang it out and get back to our real jobs. So here's a big one. U.S. job growth slows sharply in October. Unemployment rate stays unchanged. And when we say sharply, I mean very sharply. Let me pull that up. So non-farm job creation in October slowed to its weakest pace since late 2020. Non-farm payrolls increased by 12,000 for the month, down sharply from September and below the Dow Jones estimate of 100,000. Pull that chart up if you can, just to show what we're talking about. So when you look at this, it's significantly it really is a shock factor when we look at it. So looking at job creation going through 2024, wow, October is significantly below previous months. But S&P Dow, it doesn't seem too worried. And I think for the most part, as we know why that job creation is so low. We had two major hurricanes that definitely affected job creation. And then you factor in Boeing, the Boeing strike as well. I think then we can kind of piece it together, but still talk about a significantly lower number. And then also when we start talking about these jobs numbers, it's always interesting to see how they go back and revise previous numbers, right? We saw great jobs numbers in August, September. Well, guess what? We're revising them a little bit lower. August was revised down by 81,000 from 159,000 down to 78,000. September was revised down by 31,254 down to 223. So very interesting. I'm glad we don't see the USDA when they are going to release their report Friday, that they can't then go change previous reports as well. So interesting dynamic when we're looking at those reports, right? We can post a big number and then go ahead and revise it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What other headlines we got? Make sure to drop us a question and we'll go through answer them as we can. So with that, oh, here we go. It's a parent's worst nightmare. Daylight savings time ends. Make sure, I don't know how much you have to reset your clocks anymore. They pretty much do it automatically, but if you got your stove right, make sure we're going to do it sunrise and sunset an hour earlier. So it's always fun. I've got the little kids, so I just can't wait for this day, right? They just adjust very easily. So Fed meeting November 7th. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Is that right? And then, so 2 days after the election, right? 2 days. Yep. So good to see. But yeah, daylight savings time. Make sure to reset those clocks. And then with that, here we go. Here's a good, interesting headline. And I don't know what it means for the wheat market, but Russia is looking to curb wheat exports, right? We've seen Russia's nothing official from from the government, but from their union stated from now on, only Russian grain companies will be able to sell directly to sovereign buyers. New rules exclude international dealers unless they have long-term off-take agreements with Russian companies. So they're really looking to number one, they want to curb their inflation, right? They have a war going on. War is usually pretty inflationary. And then also we're seeing that significantly lower wheat crop. So they're looking to, as the number one wheat exporter, they want to kind of play that close to the cuff. So what does that mean when we look at the wheat market? We're talking a lot of disruptions, right? We know where the U.S. wheat market is, and right now, when I'm looking at Chicago wheat, it's not too concerned, right? Basically unchanged on the day. So, with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Uh, we got any questions? Let's talk a little bit about premium if we want. We had Tommy Grisafi gave us a good update. Do we have that pop up? They're gonna, but he great topic talking about how traders want or maybe look at this election, just how elections can affect markets, right? And how we can see that movement. And so I'd keep that in mind if we're looking when markets open up Sunday night. If we see something change in the polls, I'd keep that in mind, right? Check your Sunday night markets. We'll see where we go and see if this thing changes significantly. And so with that, do we have any questions or anything? I'll go ahead and pop them up. We can answer them. And so, nope, they're saying no. Okay, well, we'll wrap it up. Everyone have a great weekend. I'm going to look for the button. It's always fun. It's fun doing this by yourself, but I got to tell you, I miss Tommy and Brady. I hope they're having a great time. But with that, thanks everyone for watching. Let's hope we have a great November, busy week next week. And with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. See everyone Monday. If I can get it.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.